Hello, everyone. My name is Tilly, and you are listening to the Elevated Table Talks. I am on my own today because this week, which will be last week for you guys, I am on holiday. So I'm quite far away from Conspa, and before we've tried the whole over the internet way of doing things, and it didn't work out for us. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna film it on my own. And because it's my birthday today, the day you are listening to this, I thought I would do a little birthday themed podcast. We did this one for Connie's birthday on our live Instagram. So if you want to check that out, go to our Instagram at Elevated Table Talks and check on the old lives or the reels or whatever the freak they're called. I don't really know. And check that out. But today I will be doing the 24 things I learned in 24 years, because can you believe I am 24? So I go back and forth. Like, sometimes I feel like that's so old and I've done all my life already. But then when I hear like older people talk to me, they say, "Oh, you're so young," or they referred to me as a kid, or they referred to me as young. And then I realise, in the grand scheme of things, by the time I live my life again, I will be in my 40s, and in retrospect, that is not really very old. So I am still young, youthful. I have still a whole freaking life ahead of me, and I am ready to live it to the fullest. I've just been really inspired lately to do more stuff, even though obviously restrictions are still in place. So there is some stuff I want to do that I can't. But before the first lockdown, I was really inspired to do stuff. Like, I started having singing lessons, I started joining more theatre groups, I started doing more stuff, getting out of my comfort zone. And then lockdown hit, and I was forced to just sit and do nothing, and that also helped me grow. But then, like, as the year has passed, I realised I stopped doing stuff, and now I'm back in that mindset of I want to do stuff, I want to get out of my comfort zone, and I want to just live my life and have the best life I can, and just do me. Anyway, okay, let's get into the 24 things that I have learned in my amazing 24 years of living. So number 1 is, no one really cares, and if they do, it's a reflection of their own insecurities. So for so long, I was so bothered about what people thought of me and how I looked and how I dressed and how I acted. So I was quite reserved in how I really wanted to be. I like quite obscure, not completely obscure, but I like, a bit of funky dunky clothing. And in the past, when I was a bit younger, mainly around like 18, 19, I was quite reserved in my funky dunky clothing. Oh, I've just realised I've lost my dungarees. Anyway, trying to thought. And I didn't wear what I wanted to wear. And now I'm like, you know what? No one actually cares as much as I think they do. Like, I used to think everyone was looking at me and everyone really cared and would think about me when I wasn't with them. And then really they don't. And then the people that do, they're just insecure because they can't wear the funky dunky clothing. So forget them, sis, and wear the funky dunky clothing, or act in the strange, weird way, like the weird stuff you like. Weird. What is weird? Define weird. Who knows? But just do you. No one really gives a shit. Everyone's too concerned about how they look to other people that they're not really thinking about you. Just focus on yourself. Like, people don't really give a two sugars. Number 2 is accepting, embracing change makes life easier. As long as I can remember, I always resisted change. I always hated change. I would do anything out of my way to stay away from change. The reason I went to sixth form after school was because I was scared of change and I didn't want to leave school because of change. And then after college, I wanted to stay at college because I was scared of change. But if you just accept it and embrace the change and know the change it's, what's that word? Inevitable? Innovative? You know the word I mean. Then, guys, life is so much easier and change is good. There is so much to learn about yourself, about the world in change. If you stay in the same job or the same hobbies or the same group of friends in your life, you are never ever going to experience life to the fullest. If I was still with my group of friends who I met in high school, I would not have experienced the life I do now. I would probably not be on the journey I am now because I've changed. Everything in my life has changed. So embrace that change, sisters, brothers, whoever's. Embrace the change. Number 3 is not all friends are for life. So sometimes we make friends, especially when we're younger, and we have these expectations that these friends are going to be in your life. Your friends are going to be your friends for life. And sometimes, yes, and that's amazing, and you can learn to grow apart but still be together. But sometimes friends grow apart and there's no connection and you're not going to be friends for life, and that's okay because you'll meet other people and you may still love those friends, but you're growing, you're learning, and you just sometimes can't keep up with each other's lives, and you don't want to keep up with each other's lives. When you meet up, there's just not a connection, and it's okay because some friends aren't for life. Number 4 is it's okay to do whatever you want to do, even if everyone around you doesn't. Oh, I cannot remember writing this, so I'm just going to spin a thought up off the top of my head because I've got no freaking idea what to say. What do I mean by that? Hold on, let me have a ponder on that thought. Okay, so I haven't really come up with anything, but I guess it's just like if you want to go somewhere and do something and the people you're with don't, then just go on your own or do what you want to do, because if you do the things that they want to do, you're going to be unhappy and you're going to waste your time. Say for example, you go on holiday and somebody wants to go to, you really want to go and see this museum, but the people you're with don't want to see this museum. They want to go to go to another museum, but your heart and soul and everything you love is in this museum. For example, this museum is about theatre and another museum is about football, for my instance. I will regret so much that I didn't go to that theatre museum if I end up going to the football museum, and I'm just trying to do it to make people happy, because in the long run, they won't really care if you're there or not. They'll be like, oh, they're not coming, blah, 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 blah. But then they'll be like, okay, well, they won't even realise you're there. And if you're there and you're unhappy, you'll be dampening the mood. So go to that theatre museum on your own and enjoy yourself. Maybe make some friends there or just enjoy the time on your own. Don't do things that people are doing and you don't want to do. What am I saying? You get the gist. You get the gist, Rooney. Number 5 is being an inch. Oh, I just get in a phone call. Sorry about that. So being introverted isn't a curse, it's a blessing. I am an introvert, Rooney. slash a bit of an extrovert sometimes, but most of the time I am an introvert. And growing up, I was told that being shy is a bad thing, that not wanting to go to parties is a bad thing, that spending time on my own in my room like a hermit is a bad thing. But it is not. It is a blessing. How amazing is it that I can spend time, long, extended amounts of time on my own and feel amazing? Like during lockdown, extroverts probably felt the complete opposite to what I felt, but I felt amazing, and it made me realise that, wow, being introverted isn't the worst thing. There are times in life where being introverted is a blessing, where I will be in situations where I'm on my own, or for example, if I'm in hospital on my own and I can't move, or I'm really ill and I have to stay on my own, then it will be fine. Okay, it's a curse in some sense, like when I have to go and do stuff with a lot of people, it can be a bit, but being introverted is not a bad thing. It has its good and bad, the same as extroverted people. So if you're an introvert and you feel really self-conscious about you being introverted, baby, it's a blessing. You are amazing. You have the ability to entertain yourself and get your energy from yourself. You don't rely on no other mother trucker. You're amazing. Number 6 is trying new things helps you grow and flourish. As I was saying earlier, 24 is about me trying new things. The past few weeks I have been trying new things. I've been swimming in the sea when I've always been scared of sea. I've got a tattoo. I've been trying new hobbies. I enjoy trying new hobbies. And these things actually help me grow. They make me feel more confident, more brave. They make me want to cycle across America. So try new things. Number 7 is, this is a quote from Dr. Seuss. And when I heard this quote, it just stuck in my heart. And I was like, yes, this is a life lesson that will always stay with me. Today, you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. Embrace that uniqueness, honey. You are you. There is no one alive who is you. Yourself. Everything about you is, even your fingerprint, baby, is one of a kind. So embrace everything that this physical body is giving you. We are not it, but you only have this physical body, so enjoy it while it's here. Number 9, sorry. Number 8, there is no other moment than now, so spend less time in the future and the past. Me and Connie did a whole podcast to Rooney about this, the power of now. I think it was maybe the 4th or 5th. It was an early one. So go back and check that out for more in-depth conversations about being in the now. But that is a lesson. As soon as I read The Power of Now and I realised it's such a obvious thing too. Like, being in the now should be really obvious because it's the only moment we have, but we get so caught up in the future and the past and our thoughts. But really, we should be present and in this moment because nothing else exists. So yeah, check that podcast out. Number 9 is reading is fundamental. The biggest things I have learnt, the biggest life lessons I have learnt in life sparked through a book. Be that The Power of Now, A New Earth, Awake the Sleepless Self, and The Fuck It Diet, Big Magic. Those are all books that have sparked something in me for me to further search and find in myself that have changed my life. I know reading is not accessible for a lot of people. That's why maybe you can find these things in an audio book or video form or through theatre. But reading, I was never a reader when I was younger, but now I started reading, and if you don't read, honey, you better start, because there are some gems that have changed my life. I'm thinking about doing a podcast, honestly, about books that have changed my life. I will run that past Conspart. Conspart, if you are listening, what do you think? We've had that idea before, and I think we should put it into fruition. Is that the right word? And make that podcast happen. Okay, number 10 is rest days are important, so are naps and doing nothing productive. My friend asked me the other day, what do you define as a rest day? And I was like, there are work days, and then there are days you have off work, but sometimes we spend those days off work doing all the things we want to do when we're at work. So for example, cleaning up, doing the garden, doing podcasts, doing creative things. And even though we really enjoy those things and those things bring us pure joy, you're not resting. Rest to me is doing nothing, taking extra long naps, sleeping, staying in bed, taking a really slow day doing nothing. And I know people say you shouldn't, sit in bed and watch Netflix, but if that's your body resting and your body is craving to do that, do it. Rest days are so important. If you don't take time to have those rest days, then your body will not be thanking you, and those productive days won't be as productive if you're not rested. Number 11, you are the creator of your future. Law of attraction is always in action. You might think as soon as you have that you try to manifest that thing and it doesn't come, honey, it will come if you keep fueling it, but don't overfuel it. It will come. I manifested that I was going to live mortgage free in a caravan last year, and here I am now. I own my house. I own my caravan. I will never have to pay mortgage because my home is bought for me for the time being. So just remember, if you're ever feeling doubtful, do not. You can create whatever you would like to create. You are just think of your life as like you get creative with it. Really, you can create whatever you want. It's yours. Your life is your life, and you can do whatever you want with it. Number 12 is being different is normal. So, my life, I've always been, not always, but I've been called weird or different. And I always felt like people meant it as a compliment sometimes. But I never really took, comfort from it and was accepting that I was being called weird. But being different is normal. There is no unnormal. It's just people's perceptions of what is normal. My perception of normal could be completely different of what your perception of normal is. So, for example, my dress sense to me is normal, but to you, it could be completely abnormal. Or I could think, wow, that guy, is his taste of music is not normal, but to him, my taste of musical theatre is not normal. So being different, it's normal. If you ever feel out of place or different, honey, you're not special. No offense, but we're all the same, but different. But different is normal because You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Number 13 is food is not the enemy and there is no perfect diet. The media, diet culture constantly shoves in our face the perfect diet, the best way to eat. Don't eat this, it'll make you ill. Don't eat this, it will make you fat. What? Food is fuel. Calories are calories. And yes, I know some things are, quote, unhealthy and they will bring you disease. But moderation is key. If you are so focused on eating, quote, healthy and all the healthy foods and you won't let yourself eat unhealthy foods, you are going to give yourself an eating disorder and you are going to make yourself ill. Because there are eating disorders where people get so obsessed with health that they refuse to eat. They get scared to eat unhealthy foods. And no one eats the perfect diet. Everybody is different. Everybody needs a different amount of calories, a different amount of fat, carbs, etc., etc. And honestly, there is no perfect diet. One diet might work for someone, but the other person... So one person, some people could eat gluten and be fine. Another person could eat gluten and be really ill. Some people are allergic to nuts. Some people aren't. There is no perfect diet. So whenever you hear someone saying, oh, try this new diet to look like this, you are not going to look like them. You just need to listen to you. And if you restrict food, then you are just going to really mess up your body. And in the future, you are going to binge eat the food because your body goes into starvation modes and it craves it. So just eat to your full and content. And when your body says you want something, eat the damn thing and don't feel guilty. Don't feel like you need to go into the gym. Just eat it and be content. And I really want to do a podcast all about this because I have experiences with this. I have, been through a lot with food and I just want to share my story and share, I don't have the perfect diet. I'm not a fucking food expert, but I just want to share what I know with you. Number 14 is lower your expectations and life will be more fun. Christmas, birthdays, holidays, I have always had really high expectations. Ooh. And I have come to the conclusion that if you just forget those expectations and just accept the day as it is, or the holiday as it is, or anything as it is, you will have more fun because you will have no expectations. Number 15 is meditation really does chill you the fuck out. Honestly, I used to be a crazy, angry mother trucker. Listen, I used to beat the out my siblings. I used to have tantrums daily. At college, they used to call when people had a tantrum a Tilly tantrum because I would go berserk. I would be in such a mood. I would scream the place down, bang my feet. When I was younger, I used to have tantrums all the time to the point where I would, after a tantrum, lay in bed and not talk to anyone for hours. My mum would ask me to wash up and I would punch the stairs in anger. And then I started to meditate. At first, I would only meditate for, a little while. Then I meditated for longer. And, sometimes still now I get angry. I get a bit frustrated, but I can handle it better. Before I react, I have the patience, the calmness to just sit back and observe the situation and realise that me lashing out in some kind of way is probably not the best. So meditation actually really did change me as a person. I am much calmer, I am much positive, I am more confident. There's so much you can do in meditation to work on yourself. It gives you more patience. There's just to sit there for however long that suits you and just breathe really does help with your mental health, your physical health, and the way you see and view the world. Number 16 is creativity is a form of magic, and ideas are something that you need to grab a hold of before anybody else does. I read a book called Big Magic, recommendation to anyone who likes creativity, considers themselves as a creative person. Read Big Magic, and it talks about how the idea that pops into your head is a energy, it's a thing, it's alive, and if you don't act on that thing, it will go into somebody else's head, and then they will act on it. So you know how sometimes when you've had like an amazing idea that could change the world, and then you don't do anything about it, and you see someone else who does the exact same thing and is successful. It's kind of like that. Like the ideas you are given are a magic that has been placed into your brain in hopes that you will act on this magic. And if you don't, then it will get passed on to somebody else, and somebody else will create that magic. If you're not ready for it, or if the time's not right for you, then let the idea go, and it will go to someone and they will get the magic from it. But whenever you get that amazing idea in your brain, act on it, because it will bring you success, it will bring you just so much. So act on the creativity and live your best life through creativity. It is so magical. Number 17 is doing nothing will bring you as much growth as doing. So I feel like in social media and stuff like that, there is a pressure to do more, do this, and yes, that will bring you growth, but also doing nothing, being with yourself, just really sitting there in meditation will bring you just as much growth. For example, before lockdown, I was doing, and I was growing as a person. And then during the first lockdown, when we couldn't leave our houses, I grew more in that 2-month period I was off than I did in the whole year before, because I was doing nothing. I had the time to sit, look at my life, look at my goals, be with myself, not have any external, stimulation to unfocus me or get me away from me. I just had to sit there and be with myself, and it brought me so much growth. Me and Connie spoke about living in lockdown on one of our podcasts, so go back, check that out. We talk all about what we did, what our days look like, and mine and Connie's were completely different, but that the doing nothing did bring me so much growth, and I'm so grateful for that time I had. Number 18 is laughing is the best medicine. This is an obvious one, guys. Laugh more. Live, laugh. Just watch a comedy, watch a funny show, have a laugh with your friends, see the light in every situation, and you will feel so much better and healthier. Number 19 is cancelling plans if you don't feel like it is okay. So I spent so much of my time making plans, and then when it gets to the time I really don't want to do the plans, and I would either make up a really stupid excuse and think about all day how I'm going to make this excuse and how I'm going to go about it to make sure I don't hurt anyone's feelings or no one thinks bad of me, when really you should just tell them the truth and say, listen, I don't want to go to this place because I don't feel like it. I want to stay home. And if they're your true friends and if they really love you, they will accept it, and that will be fine. And okay, if you don't want to tell them the truth, don't feel guilty for not going and making up something, because you have to put yourself first. And if you don't feel like going, you don't feel like going. Sometimes you may not feel like going and you go and you really have fun, but I think if you're an introvert and you're dead set on really not wanting to go somewhere, don't waste your energy. Spend some time at home and weigh up your options. If you've been going out a lot in that recent time, then maybe it's probably best for you to go home. But if you haven't been going out a lot and you don't want to, Try it. It may be good. You can always go home early or just get there and say, I really don't feel like it. But weigh out your options. See how you feel and what you've been doing the past few months. Number 20 is I can do whatever I want now that I'm an adult. It took me so long to realise that I am an adult. I am 23, nearly 24 years old now. I'm 24 years old and I am allowed to do whatever I want. I was still in the mindset for so long that I had to listen to what my mum said. I had to do as my mum said. I couldn't do something because I was too young. I couldn't get a tattoo because I was too young. I can't go out drinking because I'm too young. That was still imprinted in my brain even at the beautiful age of 23. And then one day I got really worked up about something, about me feeling like I wasn't allowed to do something. And then I was like, hold on a second. Who can tell me what to do? I am an adult. I can do whatever the frick I want to do. This is my life. I have lived on my own. It's my life. And it took me a while to realise that. So if you're older than me, a bit younger than me, you're an adult, look at your life and see where you may be not doing something because you feel like you're not allowed. And then sit back and reevaluate it and think, actually, I am 20, whatever. I can freaking do that if I want to do that. I'm an adult. I am a grown woman. Number 21 is friendship breakups are okay. Now, I realise that I already said similar thing to this, that not all friends are for life, and number 3. So I guess I don't really have to elaborate on it because I didn't realise I already wrote something. But so just have that one as an extra little something to add to number 3. Number 22 is say no more, but also say yes more. Another one that is very similar to another one. We literally just spoke about this, but yeah, I guess say yes more to things that scare you, but also say no to things that you don't want to do. For example, if work asks you to do overtime and you don't want to do it, just say no. Okay? Or if there's something that really freaking scares you, but you know would be amazing, for example, jumping into the sea off a cliff, if it's safe, guys. Do not just jump into the sea off a random cliff because I'm not reliable. Okay? If you decide to do that, that's on you. Okay? I did not tell you to jump into that cliff. That makes you hurt yourself, okay? Let's just, sum that up there. But if you think it will be amazing and exhilarating and make you a braver person, then say yes. Let fear, pop that fear bubble that you see, that you are in, pop it and say yes. And then Don't fear that thing. Do not fear that thing you are going to do until you are there. And so imagine off the end of a cliff, there's a bubble. And that bubble is the only time you can fear fear. So walking up to that cliff, feel no fear. Talking to your friends beforehand, planning the trip, no fear. Until you are on the edge of that cliff ready to jump in, then you're allowed to fear and use that fear as some kind of what word am I looking for? Adrenaline. Use the adrenaline from that fear and jump, and as soon as your feet get off the cliff, that bubble is popped. So say yes to more, but also say no to more. Saying no to stuff that you really, truly don't want to do and will make you unhappy will give you a better life. Number 23 is give more. There is nothing greater in this world than giving. The feeling of giving someone something to help them, or as a gift, or just out of niceness. You can change lives by giving some money to people that need it, giving food to people that need it, giving your friends an outfit to wear for a night out, or giving your mum an amazing present for her birthday. It will make you feel so good. And don't just give to make yourself feel good, also give just to give. just to make that person happy. Giving can be a selfish thing too, because when you give someone something and you see them happy, it can make you feel happy and make you feel like, yes, I've done this, but then also remove the ego from the situation and just give, just for the sake of giving. Number 24. Oh, guys, we're on our last one. My last lesson of the 24 years I have been alive is another quote, because you know me, I love a good quote. And the quote that it's originally from is a little bit different, because it's about helping the world, but in terms of, you know, eco-conscious sustainability, etc., etc. But this one is, you can't be all the good. Oh, see, fucked up the quote because it's wrong. You can't be all the good the world needs, but the world needs all the good you can be. So take from that what you will. But for me, this is about spreading kindness, spreading love, giving more, helping people when you can, helping the planet, doing the best you can to save this world, to help people, to be kind to people, to spread love, and the world will be a better, amazing place. So yeah, those are the 24 things that I have learnt in my 24 years of living. I cannot believe I am 24. What a freaking an amazing 24 years it has been, and I cannot wait to just do more in the next years to come. This year is going to be amazing, guys, and I'm going to take you along on my journey on Instagram at Elevated Table Talks. Me and Connie are thinking about doing some YouTube videos, more of out of the podcast realm, more like YouTube-y vlogs, you know, the vibes. Catch us on FaceB at Elevated Table Talks again, and social media is the place to be for us. You could catch us, the gram, and also I have TikTok. It's Tilly Farrell 111. Farrell spelt FARRELL. So check that out. I'm going to be doing like a little video every week of my week of being 24, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, check out the TikTok. And I'm excited to see you guys soon. I think we're recording a podcast today. So today for you, tomorrow for me. So I will see you then. Thank you so much for listening. Happy freaking birthday to me. And see you Sunday. Cheers. Bye-bye.